welcome to another World of Tanks subscriber replay. My name as always is Maxwell and today's video is from the user Lancelot. That's Lancelot, and he's driving the T28 tank destroyer on a standard battle on the Siegfried line, the T28 being the Tier 8 non-turreted tank destroyer for the Americans. T71 just being a bit of a knob there and driving directly in front of that T28 even though he knew he probably couldn't make it, and taking a little bit of damage for his trouble. So we're going to speed this one up a little bit, because if any of you own this tank or have played against it or have any knowledge of this game, then you know that this thing is ridiculously slow. So just going to speed it up until he actually makes it into the city. He's going to be heading straight up into this central area and going to support his allied T32 here. Spots out a T29, going to see if he can get a shot on him, but not quite able to. T29 just getting... Oh, there we go. Able to get a shot on him that time. Unfortunately, only able to take out his tracks. Luckily, he's able to get a second shot as he's trying to back off, and earlier on he must have used his repair kit to be able to fix those tracks and get out of range, so he didn't have his repair kit that time, and Lancelot able to pick up his first kill of the match. So an enemy IS comes way out into the open, probably not too familiar with this map as he has no business being in that position. He was probably trying to get an advanced position and thought that his allies would have his back. Unfortunately, nobody had his back, and the T28 decided to put a round through his face. So just going to sit here and cover off this area, spots out an enemy Chaffee, and eliminates the enemy Chaffee. Gets an ammo rack on him, not that that would have mattered, as he had more than enough damage to be able to eliminate him anyway. Allied T34 comes up now, but our man Lancelot is covering off the area where this IS would have been. Spots out a couple of enemy tanks, including that Super Pershing there. Probably pushes up a little bit too far, but knows that he can get in behind this rubble here to protect his rear armour. Trying to get a shot on this T32, but doesn't quite have the gun traversed. Oh, there we go, managing to get on target. Unfortunately, that one being a 0 damage critical, not quite able to get any damage to the front armour there. Although he sees the rear armour and is able to get damage through that one, picking up his third kill so far of this match. Again, his rear arm is still protected by that rubble, and his allies just behind him will deter anybody from coming up and getting too close. Sees an enemy IS-3, although the IS-3's got enough speed to be able to get behind those buildings and into cover before taking any damage. Sees an enemy Tiger 2 trying to do the same thing. So he's just going to get his gun on target down that alleyway. Oh no, he's not. He's going to spot out this IS-3, making a push forward, and gets a big bit of damage through his front armour. IS-3 probably not too familiar with the T28's reload speed, and if he hadn't had his tracks removed there, he would have been able to finish him off. Spots out the enemy Super Pershing, gets a good bit of damage through him as well. He's got to be careful here though, because this Tiger 2 has come up from the side. Unfortunately, the Tiger 2 whiffs his first shot. So he's just going to ignore him and focus his attention on this T34 before turning and getting his front armour back on with this Tiger 2. So Tiger 2 pokes himself out, takes a big hit through his side armour there, so decides to not even bother trying to duel with this T28 and just drops back into cover. Playing a little bit of the waiting game here. It's been so action-packed so far, but it looks like, well, the game's pretty even at the moment, although the allies have got the enemy sort of pinned in the central area, and our man Lancelot is definitely having the best of that exchange. I'm just trying to see who the Tiger 2 is shooting at. Oh, gonna see if he can get... Oh, not quite able to get any more damage on the side of this Tiger 2, and he's attempting to do a flanking manoeuvre. Probably wanting to get some damage onto that T32. The damaged T32 there, fortunately runs... Well, I was going to say runs at that T43, but he's miles away. So it looks like the enemy's doing a good job of breaking out of this pincer move. Unfortunately, they don't have no idea that this T28's behind them, and able to take out the T34, and should be able to take out this IS-3 once his gun reloads. And there we go, picks up the IS-3. So just going to try and use the corpse of this T-34 as cover till he can get his front armour onto this Super Pershing. Super Pershing deciding that he wants to try and shoot at that T32, as he's a juicier target with less hit points. But that could prove to be his downfall, although probably not, as he's not quite able to get any damage through that Super Pershing. The armour on that thing just a little bit too ridiculous. Looks like he's taken out his tracks there, but not quite able to get any damage done on him. Luckily, the front armour of this T28 is pretty ridiculous, so he's able just to bounce that shot from the Super Pershing. Super Pershing not going to be dumb and just going to fall back behind that building. Unfortunately, the 1390 not realising that he could be seen by the T28 of Lancelot here, and Lancelot picks up his 6th kill of this match, putting in an absolutely sterling performance so far. Unfortunately, they are losing ever so slightly. They have an artillery, they have that T43 and himself there. The GW Panther able to take out the Super Pershing thanks to the spot from Lancelot, and the T43 able to take out the Jag Panther, which suddenly puts the game in their favour. The enemy only having their artillery and that Tiger 2, is it? It is indeed that Tiger 2. So just going to speed it up a little bit until we get back into the action. Spots out this Tiger 2 here. Tiger 2 kind of making a beeline for his own base there. Oh, not quite able to get a shot through the front armour there, managing to take out his tracks though, and he's probably going to have the best of this situation as his gun reloads faster, although he doesn't have the alpha damage to be able to eliminate him. Luckily for him, the Tiger 2's shot bounces, and he's going to have to get himself fully out into the open to be able to pick up this kill. Oh no, not quite. Tiger 2 just playing it smart enough to be able to get into cover. Although this Tiger 2 probably doesn't have the penetration to be able to take him out. And he's able to take out his tracks, and now we can just sit back a little bit and wait for his reload and try and pick his shot through the weakest point of his armour, and that is exactly what he does, picking up his 7th kill of the match. And now the base capture is all the way up to 90%. This T43 putting in a sterling job as well for that base capture. And as you see, the GW Panther comes in to try and stop this one. Unfortunately, it looks like he's slightly too late. So absolutely brilliant replay there from Lancelot, picking up 7 kills in, playing very aggressively as a tank destroyer, pushing that central flank and doing his best to keep the enemy pinned into position, which they did absolutely brilliantly, keeping them penned in, encircling them and just picking them off at their leisure. So absolutely amazing replay there from Lancelot. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Thank you to you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.